Hey, everybody, I'm Bob Bakert with Jazz Guitar today, and we're here with Bill Frisell. Hey, Bill.
Good to see you.
It's good to see you. Hey, thanks for doing this. I really do appreciate it. I know we don't have much time. I know you're pretty busy. So I know you have a new project coming up, but before we go there, I got a quick question for you. I've been listening, over the years, I've listened to a lot of your playing, and I've been a fan, as a lot of people are. How would you describe your style?
Oh man,
Nice to see you, Bill.
I have to leave that up to you guys. I mean, I don't know. I'm 70. Oh wow, I can't believe I was going to say 70, but I'm 71 years old. So I mean, this accumulation of just spending all this time trying to play, and I love music, and I love all kinds of music, and it's just so when you try to break it down with a description in words, it always seems to come up short somehow. It's the music is so much larger than what you can call it.
It's a very tough question to be asked, and I know that. I'm just, some people, everybody basically has the same answer, or very close to the same answer. I'm listening. When I listen to you play, you have a unique style. You leave a lot of space. You're incredibly melodic. You definitely know where the melody is. The tones are wonderful. I hear a lot of interaction with your bass player. It doesn't matter who the bass player is. I just hear a lot of interaction with your bass player. Like I can hear in your playing, you're so conscious of what's going on with the bass. And is that something that you're aware of, or it's just kind of comes out of you?
Well, no, I think it's from years and years, but always that's been for me it's this conversation that you're having. Whenever I'm playing in a group, I'm not really thinking of myself being in the foreground, or I never really think about, the soloist and the accompaniment. I'm thinking of everyone having an equal voice.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the space, just whatever space, it's whatever in my nature, talk, I have a lot of space. There's a lot of pauses and, uncertainty or whatever, when just in my speaking voice. But when I'm playing music, it's the same. It's more about what it really comes down to is listening to what's going on around me. And then the most amazing feeling is when everyone is in that same zone, it's like you're just talking to each other, and you ask a question, and then you wait for the answer before you start spouting off again. And then you're helping each other out. It's really about listening, and then being able to take chances. Like that's what I like. If everyone is really tuned into what everyone else is doing, it gives me the opportunity, and hopefully them the opportunity, to jump off into some uncharted territory. And if I get lost, or if I'm unsure of myself, that everyone's there to, it's not like a contest, like who's right or wrong. It's more about, let's try to all be together and make this thing something better.
Well, you do it beautifully. I've seen you playing with the Telly, and I've seen you playing with the Collins. What draws you to that as opposed to, say, the big arch tops and things of that nature?
No, I love big arch tops too, and I have some.
I know you do.
A lot of it gets down to practicality, traveling. At home, I'm more likely to be, if I just grab a guitar, it's probably going to be an acoustic guitar, or I've got a couple just amazing big fat archtop guitars that I love to play, but traveling with them is really it's just hard.
It is hard.
So like a Telecaster, I can just stick it, I can carry it on the plane.
You mean one of these?
Somebody, yeah, if somebody puts their suitcase on top of it, the neck breaks or something, I can just kind of screw it back on and get through the gig. But you take a L5 on an airplane, and odds are you're not going to come out with much
What's
left.
what's funny about that is I tell people I can use my telly as a paddle if I have to, you know.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and an L5 is actually built pretty solid compared to a lot of them. But you seem to get a lot of you seem to take, your tone is identifiable. I mean, we know who's playing the guitar immediately from your touch and your phrasing and all that kind of thing, and the tone that you create. And you take advantage of pedals, I know. I mean, you've got reverb, it sounds like reverb and delay and things of that nature going on.
Yeah, a
Is that
little
true?
bit.
Not a lot, but just enough to give you that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I've sort of over the years sort of trying to wean myself off of some of that stuff. But no,
Right.
I still use reverb and delay. And
Yeah. So you got a project that's coming up with Ches Smith.
oh yeah, that's
That
coming out
yeah,
soon,
that's
I
coming
think.
up in about a month. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on there and what you're doing?
Actually, we're playing tonight in New
Wow.
York. We played last night, and we're playing tonight at the Stone in New York. Yeah, that's a band. It's sort of like I didn't invite myself. He invited me. It was like a band that an ongoing project that he had with Matt Maneri on viola and Craig Taborn on piano, a trio that they've been doing for a while. And wow, the time is, I can't keep track of time anymore, but it must have been 2 or 3 years ago. I went to see them play at this little club in Brooklyn, and it just knocked me out. The music was so beautiful. And I told Chess, and then next thing I know, he invited me to play with him. So I played with him. I guess it hasn't been that much. We did one gig. I think we only did one gig actually at the Stone where we're playing tonight. And then we did the recording, and then we did one other gig. Now we're doing some more. So
It's pretty exciting that the recording is coming out. I know that like your recordings, because I have a copy of it. There's a lot of space in the music, a lot of what we've already talked about, and I think your fan base, if you will really enjoy the recording. It's very exploratory. It feels like. Is that a fair
yeah,
assessment?
that's what it was so inspiring to me, the way he structures the music. And it's like he'd already, that band as it was had developed this kind of language amongst themselves. So it was really inspiring for me to try to get in there with it. I mean, he has these, I don't even know how to describe it, but the writing, he sets up these structures that they're complex, but at the same time they leave a lot of room for actually mistakes and everything. It's like, okay, if you go off the rails, and everything we were talking about before, like trust and
Right.
listening. So I can, with those guys, I feel safe to enter into their world. And again, it's not like where I'm being judged about what's right or wrong. It's like they're accepting me into this world. Be honest, be yourself, and you open yourself up, and sometimes it feels scary or risky to put yourself out like that, but those are the people I want to be with, where you're not
Yeah.
afraid to show where you're at.
You've found another musical home. Your harmonic sense, the way that you go about your voicings and all of that, and I know that your answer so far has been it's just an amalgamation of everything that's come into my being, if you will, for the past 60 years of playing the guitar. But you seem to have a really I guess it's a unique sense of voicing and a unique sense of harmony. And I was listening to I was listening to Come Together, the Beatle tune, and comparing that to your version of Moon River, and comparing that to your versions of the. You have a very unique approach. Is there anything that you could say, and if you can't, I fully understand. Is there anything you could say as to kind of what that process is for you, your harmonic
Well,
approach?
no, I mean, I talk about that a lot. Like the melody for me is so important. Like even when I'm not playing the melody, I want it to be deep down into my bones, before, like the songs you just mentioned, those are songs that I've heard for most of my life. And so the melody, that's what gives me everything really comes from that. All the ideas, like the harmonic ideas, come from whatever I can find in my imagination that's gonna
Support the melody.
support that melody. Or it's like if you really know the melody, it'll start feeding you other information. It'll give you ideas. Again, it's like this thing about having a conversation. Like if you listen to the melody and one phrase it'll be like a question, or it'll be a statement or a question, and then you can respond to that. Like either support it, play with it, or play against it, or rub up against it. And so, I mean, I know sounds kind of, I could talk about, oh, I play a C7 chord.
No,
with
no,
a
I'm
blah,
not.
blah,
I'm
blah.
not looking for that. I'm not looking.
But this is more, I guess it's more conceptually how trying to just let my imagination go wild, but keeping the melody is the
Your
source of everything, really.
your answer is dead on. I'm not looking for, well, if it's a C major 7, I'm playing. I'm not looking for that. That's not.
I mean, there's all that stuff too, but
they can learn that in a book. I want to hear your philosophy, if you know what I'm saying. The other thing, it's really interesting, and just as an observation, when you go to school and study music, etc., the things that they talk to you about is, listen, pay attention to the melody, be respectful and have a conversation with your other musicians. And so few people do that well. And obviously you do it as good as anybody on the planet, if not better than anybody on the planet. So if people want to learn those 3 big lessons that they harp on in school, just listen to your records, just listen to your records. Last question, because I know you got to run. Johnny Smith. You studied with Johnny Smith. I mean,
yeah, I can't believe that. That's amazing.
I can't believe that. I mean, I know that you grew up out there and et cetera, but
I mean, I wish I had, at the time I was naive. I wish I had known, I didn't realize what was right there in front of me at the time.
How old were you?
Of course it was obvious, his master, amazing, but as the years have gone by, my appreciation of him has grown so much, and I just feel so lucky that I got to spend a little time with him.
Unbelievable. What years was that? When did that happen?
It's like 1970.
So you're about 20 years old ish.
Yeah. And I had this amazing teacher there, Dale Bruning, who's still there in Denver teaching.
Wow.
Who I just saw recently. He's still playing great. And at the time he was playing bass with Johnny Smith, but Dale is an incredible guitar. He's the guy that introduced me to Jim Hall and told me about all this whole world of music.
Maybe that's a conversation for the next time, if you'll be so generous as to talk with us again.
Yeah.
Get into all of that. Well, listen, I want to say thank you, because I know we're short on time today. I want to say thank you for seeing our folks at Jazz Guitar today, and I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you as a unique artist. I mean, you're totally unique artist, and it's so difficult to be that today.
Well,
And
thank you.
no, it really is. It's hard to find your own, and your voice just stands out. I mean, it's just, I mean, it's you playing. You put on the record, it's a Bill Frisell record. I mean, that's all there is to it. You just know that, oh yeah, okay, and I was talking to a buddy of mine who's a very, very fine guitar player here in Atlanta. And I said, so Bill Frisell, I said, give me, encapsulate what you think his his style is. And he said, what did he say? He said something like country fusion or something like that. He said he can really hear the what he was trying to say is the earthiness, that growing up in Colorado kind of thing, that grounded to the earth kind of thing. And I thought, wow, all right, I'll go with that. So anyway, thank you so much. Is there anything you want to add to this before we say goodbye?
Just thanks for listening, and good talking to you.
It's such an honor, and I mean that sincerely. Bob Bakert,
All right.
Jazz Guitar Today with Bill Frisell. Thank you, Bill.
Okay, take care.
Bye-bye now. Thank you, man. Bye-bye.